Welcome back to Robin Reviews. I'm very excited for today's episode. Little backstory. I was in Dollar Tree the other day. Now, I used to be a bit of a Dollarama snob. I'll admit that. I used to think Dollarama was the way to go. But Dollar Tree is growing on me, so I was in Dollar Tree, and I'm not usually a big chocolate fan, but one of my favorite chocolate bars is the KitKat Chunky. And I know it has all these different flavors, but I just happened to notice that Dollar Tree had four of them. And so I thought, you know what? We're going to do a little assessment. And so what we have today is the Kit Kat Chunky, the original. Kit Kat Chunky Popcorn. Kit Kat Chunky Cookie Dough. And Kit Kat Chunky Caramel. And so there. I'll move that a little forward. Now, I thought to myself, what's the fairest way to give some kind of a rating of these? And so what I thought I would do is I'm going to taste a bit of each one. I'll show a cross section, and then I'm going to give two ratings. Both out of 10. The first rating is going to be just for how much I like it, because I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty important to me. The second out of 10 will be how much it tastes like what it's supposed to. And then for Kit Kat Chunky, that's just, how much does it taste like a chunky Kit Kat. So we're going to go with that. I know there's probably more flavors, but I'm excited for this. So I'm going to stop right now before I begin. And ask if anyone, if you want to comment before you watch, if you have predictions. I'm going to do the Kit Kat Chunky, the original one, last because I love Kit Kat Chunky, so I don't want that to kind of mess with the palate at all. I'm thinking, I don't know, cookie dough is one of my favorite kinds of ice cream. Chocolate chip cookie dough is amazing. But my worry with that is it almost sets too high of a standard for other things with cookie dough flavoring. And so we're going to jump right in. I'm going to go in alphabetical order just because I'm weird like that. So the first one is caramel. I'm going to bite in and then I'll do the cross section as I'm chewing because, no one wants to hear or watch that. Oh, yeah. So it looks like a Kit Kat Chunky infused with a Rolo bar. If you can see that. My focus seems to be off today. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's how I describe it. Okay, so first of all, for taste, I would give that how much I like it. I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's good, but it's a little overwhelming. Underwhelming, sorry. Overwhelming. Pardon me while I get my words mixed up. It's underwhelming. You almost lose the Kit Kat part of it. You just taste like it, very subtle. Not even strong caramel, very subtle caramel. And I don't know, I wasn't expecting it to be so runny. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but for me, it's 6.5. In terms of trying to be caramel, honestly, I'll have to give it a 6 out of 10 because here's the thing. If you're trying to do something, you have to really nail it. And there's caramel in it for sure, but it's almost not there. You'd think it would be because it's flowing out, but no, I think it's underwhelming. And so far that would give that a 13.5. Nope. I can't do math today. 12.5, 6.5, and 6 out of 20. So not a great start. Not terrible though. But so next up is the cookie dough. Now you can automatically see there. And again, I apologize for the focus. It's hard when you throw something on. There's a layer of cookie dough. So it might be hard to see, but that whole white layer, you see the lighter layer here. That's all cookie dough. It's a cross section. Again, I apologize for the the focus. It's because I got so much going on. Sorry about that. Okay, so cookie dough. I hate to say this, but I give that a 5 out of 10 for how much I like it. Again, I love cookie dough, but again, for me, like the caramel would have had an easier time getting good numbers because I don't. I'm crazy about Rolos. Cookie dough, I'm a little bit tougher on, and that just didn't really taste like cookie dough. You know, you can get that cookie dough taste when you're eating like ice cream. You get a big glob of it, you can taste it. It's really good. There you can't. And yeah, I'd give it also a 5 for trying to be cookie dough because it's not there. It's not doing it for me. Both caramel and cookie dough, you lose that KitKat flavor. And I think to do these properly, it would be better if you could have both. You know, like, oh man, I just ate a KitKat that also had caramel, or I just ate a KitKat that also had cookie dough, but it's like, I don't know what I just ate. It kind of bland. Aftertaste of the cookie dough, a little bit better than eating it itself, which I, never thought was possible. I always thought that's like the, exact opposite of what's supposed to happen, but here we are. Now, the popcorn one I'm the most skeptical about because, it's popcorn. Similar to the cookie dough, it has a healthy layer of whatever it's trying to do. So, that was the popcorn one. So far we have 12.5 for caramel and a really kind of pathetic 10 for the cookie dough. How much I enjoyed that, that's the popcorn one, I give it as well a 5. Not terrible, but not terribly enjoyable. But for what it's trying to do, I'd actually give that an 8. It's because, terrible or not, or on the fence that I am, that is what you expect. That tastes like salty, a little bit burnt, which I don't understand, but salty popcorn and still getting that Kit Kat flavor. Maybe it's because the popcorn has such a bland treat on its own. I mean, yeah, you can put salt on it, but let's be honest, unless you have the butter, popcorn's pretty bland. Whereas maybe with the cookie dough and caramel, it was overpowering a little bit. That was pretty good for what it was trying to do. Not perfect. Could have used some butter flavor in there. But it definitely tastes like popcorn, and I definitely still taste Kit Kat. So, I'm going to bump it up to a 6 and an 8. So that's a 14 for the popcorn. And now, last but not least, this is the original Kit Kat Chunky. Again, I don't know why it's blurry like that, but it's got, 1, 2, 3, 5 layers of wafer and 4 layers of chocolate on the inside of this. Okay, so how much I enjoy that? Gotta be a 9 out of 10. I just can't fault that. It's spectacular. And so then I said, well, I can't really judge Kit Kat Chunky on what it's trying to be because it's just trying to be. So that's what I said in my video. For the Kit Kat Chunky, I'm going to do the 2nd out of 10 based on how much it tastes like 4 Kit Kats rolled into one. And it does. I mean, it still tastes like a normal Kit Kat. You still get that very pleasant taste, but it's bigger. And so, yeah, it's a chunky Kit Kat. And I know that might seem silly, but it could have very easily been something that gets lost in the shuffle when you try to change it into something else. I'm not talking about, the Kit Kats that come out now. They have like 8 bars in it, 12 bars. There's these giant things of Kit Kat. I mean, this is something entirely different. And yet it doesn't lose the originality. And so for that, yeah, I'd give it a 9. So, I mean, that's 18. So I never thought I'd be saying this, but according to me at least, the top out of these 4 goes original chunky Kit Kat, popcorn chunky, caramel chunky, and then cookie dough. And maybe I'm being too hard on cookie dough, but I love cookie dough, and that was very, very disappointing. Yeah. So if you've tried these, I'd love to know what you think. As I get more going with this channel, I'd love to do a follow-up. So maybe throughout the next weeks, if I see other flavors, I'll just pick them up and stockpile them, and we'll do maybe a revisiting. But there you go. You have 18 for KitKat Chunky, the original. 14 for popcorn, 12.5 for caramel, and 10 for cookie dough. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Again, if you're able, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.